So if you are a manifester, it means that you are here to initiate and you have this internal nonverbal creative flow, meaning your internal process goes so fast that it bypasses language. What you really need to do in life is to wait for this spark of inspiration, as you might often feel, this internal go signal, and then leap into action. So your mastery in life comes from initiating and starting things and projects, but not always sustaining and finishing them. Manifestors really get other people going and get the ball rolling. In terms of stress, anxiety, and potentially even burnout, it's important to mention here that we in human design differentiate between what's called non-sacral and sacral beings when we talk about the different types. The manifestor, projector, and reflector types have so-called open sacral centers and are thus non-sacral beings. This means that these three types do not have consistent access to work and life force energy themselves and can only really lend this energy when they are around other types that do. This concludes that they are not really here to work and can have a hard time feeling into when enough is enough, when they have done or is about to do too much. So naturally, they need more rest than the sacral types, the so-called generator and manifesting generator types, which have access to consistent work and life force energy because their sacral center is always turned on and activated. The life strategy for a manifestor is to inform other people before taking action. And informing lets other people know what to expect, and it gets people out of the way so that the manifestor can keep following that very fast, very creative flow that they have. The informing part is quite important because of the field of energy manifestors have around their bodies, the so-called aura. The aura or energy field of a manifestor is naturally closed and repelling. This means that when they move their bodies, they create sort of a ripple effect in the energetic fabric around them, which can startle other people. And this is represented by the little water scooter down here on the right, which is also very fast moving and makes ripples on the water. So in good time, the manifestor need to assess who is going to be impacted by what they're going to do when this inspirational spark occasionally kicks in. And this has to be learned and expressed, especially in close relationships, by the manifestor, because understanding and expressing this will prepare people and others around them to get out of their way when they get this internal go signal. It's important for the manifestor to both inform other people and to be informed where other people will be, because when the manifestor is informed, they know how to adapt their creative process around what's going on with everyone else. The emotional theme of a manifestor is anger, and this is the feeling they feel in their body when they are out of alignment with their energy. They can easily end up feeling angry if other people interrupt their initiating process. And it usually comes from not being able to express this internal nonverbal creative flow they have naturally. On the other hand, they also have something which is called a signature theme. And for the manifester, that is peace. Peace is usually expressed when they feel good in their bodies and can or have expressed their energy in accordance with how they are to operate their specific energetic design. The little popcorn box in the lower part here is put there to represent a small story related to the manifester. Let's say that you have two people in a relationship, maybe husband and wife, and the guy in the relationship, maybe he's a generator, he just came home from the gym, and then the wife is a manifester and she was at home, and now they decide that they're going to have a movie night. So the guy is going to hit the showers, and then the wife is going to set up for the movie night. So she starts to find the movie and she starts to make some drinks ready. And then she realizes, oh, in the cupboard where we normally have popcorn, there are no more popcorn. So because she's a manifester, she gets this internal go signal now where she sort of needs to go and buy popcorn right away. So she just picks up her keys, she picks up her wallet because that's the only two things she needs to go and buy popcorn, and then she leaves out the door. She walks down to the store and then she finds the popcorn and she buys them. But in the meantime, the husband, the generator, he comes out of the shower and he looks around and he's like, where's my wife? And what's happening? And why didn't she bring her phone? And now I get a little worried. Then maybe 5, 10 minutes later, the manifestor wife comes home and now the husband is sort of angry or quite frustrated, and maybe they start getting into a bit of a fight because she didn't inform first that she was going to go down and buy popcorn. All she really had to do was to go out to the shower and say, "Hey, honey, I'm just going to go down buy some popcorn. I'll be back in a few minutes." But because she has this internal nonverbal creative flow, she might forget, and maybe quite often, to inform the people around her. That was a little story about how the manifester might operate in relationship with other people. My own dad is a manifester, and I have experienced a ton of these scenarios in my childhood, um, where my dad would have a tendency to sort of run off, and then my mom would yell at him from a long distance or run after him, asking, like, "Where are you going? And why do you leave all the time?" So these scenarios can naturally create real life challenges for people, but there's also a way to minimize them when you know about your own design. One last thing I want to mention is that manifestors need to be in bed or lay flat down with their bodies around 30 minutes before they want to go to sleep, to let the energy they have picked up in their sacral center from other people around them throughout the day slowly run out of their bodies so they can actually fall asleep.